Hi friends, welcome back to Perfect Study channel. So today's topic is data interpretation questions of CAT 1991. There are total of 25 questions including 5 sets of DI that we have taken up, and if you are appearing for SBI PO and later IBPS exams, these questions will be extremely useful because there are some really high level advanced calculation intensive questions that are covered in this CAT 1991 set. I will also provide the link for my previous CAT 1990 DI question here, so if you are interested you can even watch them. Let's begin. First set, questions 1 to 5. Answer the questions on the basis of information given below. The following table gives the national income and the population of a country for the years 1984-85 to 1989-90. So you can see in this table we have national income in rupees crore and there is population in crore. For each of the following questions, choose the best alternative. Now what we will do is, first I will just take you through the 5 questions and then we will begin the solution. The first is, the increase in the per capita income compared to previous year is lowest for the year. Okay. Second one, the per capita income is highest for the year. Third, the difference between the percentage increase in per capita income and percentage increase in population compared to the previous is highest for the year. Fourth, the rate of increase in population was lowest in the year. Fifth, increase in the per capita income compared to previous year among the years given below was highest for the year. Okay, so these are the 5 questions. So let us begin. If you notice, most of the questions were related to per capita income. And what do we mean by per capita income? Per capita income is equal to national income divided by population. Now why this in 5 question set is extremely important and interesting also, because seemingly this is a highly calculation intensive and a very difficult one. The reason being, you have to divide all the 6 years income by the population and get the per capita income. That is what a student may assume, that I have to divide this national income by population, calculate the per capita income, and then calculate the increase in per capita income and do all sort of percentage calculations. So let's see. But what we will do is, I will show you here, we will solve this set with minimum calculation, no division, no multiplication, no percentages, nothing except for some few basic subtractions. That's all. Other than that, we will not do any calculations. So let's see. The increase in per capita income compared to previous year. Increase compared to previous year, indirectly what they are asking is percentage increase. That is actually the meaning of percentage increase. What is percentage increase? Increase divided by previous year multiplied by 100. So indirectly what is asked is, in which year the percentage increase in per capita income is lowest. Now the problem is, we actually don't know the per capita income. We know only total income and we know population. So shall we divide this 6 times, get the per capita income and then calculate the percentage increase, which will actually take a hell lot of time, and the divisions in themselves are not easy. Division by these 2-digit numbers and then decimal values. So let us understand some basic conceptual approach how to solve this question without doing any division at all. Now if you notice here, even if we divide these values to get the per capita income, it will not make any difference compared to if we simply calculate the percentage increase based on national income. and I will tell you why. If you notice here, the difference between this population of these 2 years is what? 1. Similarly, here the difference is 2. Here the difference is 1.5. Here again 1.5, and here it is 1.2. So if we see carefully, the population increase is quite steady. There is not much of variation in the population increase compared to the increase in national income, which actually means that even if we do our calculations simply based on national income, instead of doing it based on per capita income, we are going to get the same answers, except if somewhere it is very close, then we will see how to adjust for that. So what we have to find out, the percentage increase is lowest for which year? Now, do we have to calculate the percentage increase for all these 6 figure numbers? No need at all. I'll show you a very simple way we can do it. I'm writing it here only. What I am doing is, first I am just converting them to 3-digit numbers, that too rounded off. So I will write here 230, 261, 292, 330, 389, which I will round off to 390, and this I'll keep as 433. So these are our rounded off figures for national income. Now what we will do, we'll just take the difference of these two years. So 230 and 261, I'm writing the difference here, or you can say the increase. How much is the increase? Here the increase is 31, here it is again 31, here the increase is 38, here it is 60, here it is 43. Okay, this much is done. See, as of now we have not done any percentage calculation, nothing, and nothing is required. What we have to find out, the percentage increase is lowest in which year? Now, if we want percentage increase lowest, increase should be lowest and the previous year value should be highest comparatively. The increase should be lowest and the previous year value should be highest. So what should we do? So here the answer is very obvious. If you notice, the increase is lowest in these 2 years. That is 86, 87, 85, 86. The increase is lowest. And the previous year value, it is higher in case of this 85, 86, which is more than 84, 85. 85, 86 value is higher compared to 84, 85. So I will just write it here for a better understanding, but there is no need to actually write. What is the percentage increase in 85, 86? It will be 31 divided by 230 into 100, and 86, 87, it will be 31 divided by 261 multiplied by 100. Now there is no need to write this in exam, no need to write it. I have written it just for explaining you, or if you are not clear only with this diagram, for that purpose only I have written it, but there is no need, because the denominator is higher for this 85, 86 compared to 84, 85. Your answer will be the year 1986, 87. Because the denominator is higher, this year's percentage increase is going to be lowest. Now the question that you may have in your mind is, the question was for per capita income, not for national income. But I have already explained you, because the population increase is very less and very steady in almost all the years, this division will not have any change in your comparative answer. The division and all will make sense only if they are asking you to calculate some actual values. But the questions are all based on lowest and highest. So we are supposed to provide the years where it is lowest or highest. We don't need the actual values. If you want, you can also use a calculator and divide it and check the calculation for your for your satisfaction. You are going to get the same answer. So here our answer is 1986-87. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next one. The per capita income is highest for the year. Now here there is no question on percentage increase or percentage decrease, or increase is highest or increase is lowest. Simple question is when the per capita income is highest. Should we calculate each year's per capita income and check where it is highest? No, not at all. So let me just explain you with a simple concept here. Suppose I have this fraction 200 divided by 100, which obviously you know that is equal to 2, and this value I am changing it like this, 400 divided by 200. Now if you are given two fractions like this and you have to calculate the which is higher, do you need to actually divide? Here, because the values are simple, okay, you can divide and check. But see the concept here, 200 is getting doubled, means it increases by 100%. 100 is getting doubled, it also increases by 100%. When the percentage change in numerator and denominator is same, the value remains same. Now vice versa, suppose we increase this by 500 and keep this as 200 only. Now this fraction, is it greater than the previous fraction? How do we know? Here 200 to 500, this is how much? It is increasing by 150%. There is an increase of 300, and 300 on 200 is 150%, but here the increase is only 100%. I am comparing it with the previous fraction, okay, not with the middle one. Like this is my comparison. Now because the numerator change is higher, that is why the fraction will be bigger. That is the concept. Okay, if the numerator increases more, if the percentage increase in numerator is more than percentage increase in denominator, the fraction will be greater. Okay, I can just write it. If percentage increase in numerator is more than percentage increase in denominator, fraction will be greater. So we will simply use this concept here. If you notice here, the national income is continuously increasing through all the years. It is continuously increasing, and the population is also increasing. Let's just take this value and this value, this value and this value. This national income from 229, it has become 433, which is almost double. Almost, not exactly double, it is little less than double, but I can say almost 2 times. That means it has almost increased by 100%. What has happened to the population? It has increased by only 7, and 7 if you divide by 74, you will get 10%. So my national income, it has increased by 100%, and my population, it has increased by only 10%, which means it is very obvious that 1989-90 should give me the highest per capita income. The income has doubled, but the population has increased only by 10%. So there is no need to actually calculate the per capita income and get that value. Nobody is asking here what is the per capita income. They are asking which year it is highest. So it will definitely be highest in 1989-90. That is your answer. Now you may think that it has taken a lot of time, but the time that I have taken was for explanation of the concept. Once the concept is clear, you can just compare the numerator, compare the denominator, check their rough percentage increase or decrease, and accordingly you can very easily get your answer. Next one, third, the difference between the percentage increase in per capita income and percentage increase in population compared to previous year is highest for which year? So I have to compare two things, percentage increase in per capita income minus percentage increase in population. Now if you remember in question number 1, for percentage increase in per capita income, we were actually not taking per capita, we were taking national income only, because we said that because the population is increasing at a steady rate, it will not have any great impact on the calculation of per capita. The things will almost remain same. So that's what I'm going to do here again. I will take percentage increase in national income, percentage increase in population. Now in this slide I don't have those values which I had calculated in question number 1. So just quickly let me bring up those values again, because we need those values for our calculation. Right, so here are the values that we had calculated for question number 1, and we will use them again. So we have to compare the percentage increase in national income and percentage increase in population, and we want this difference to be the highest. Now if you want any difference to be highest, it means the previous value should be maximum and the second one should be comparatively minimum. Okay, now where do you expect to find the highest percentage increase? If you notice here, the increase in 1989-90 is very high. It is almost double or little less than double of the increase in previous years. It's a very high increase here. So we expect that the percentage increase in per capita income should be highest for 88-89. And if you notice the percentage increase in population here, almost in all the years the percentage increase in population has been roughly similar. There is not much change. So we can understand that the difference in 1989-90 in the percentage increase here in the national income and the population must be the highest one. So that is quite obviously understood here. So your answer will be 1988-89. That is option number D. So you can see here we are simply solving the questions on a conceptual basis, which is actually a correct approach. If you want, for your satisfaction, you can do all sort of calculations in the calculator and verify the answers, but I know you are going to get the same answer. Fourth, the rate of increase in population was lowest in which year? So rate of increase in population in 85-86, the population has increased by 1. Here it has increased by 2. Here it has increased by 1.5. Here the increase is again 1.5, and here it is 1.2. Okay, so we have to find in which year the rate of increase in the population is lowest. If we want the lowest rate of increase in population, as per the percentage increase in formula, it is increase by previous year into 100, but I am not going to do any calculation here because it is not required. If I want lowest, this value should be comparatively lowest, not exactly, and comparatively. I am using the word comparatively. Comparatively, this should be lowest and this should be highest comparatively. So which all are possible? See, 85-86, this is possible. Now if you see 85-86 and 86-87, the increase has doubled. Please note, understand this concept. The increase has doubled, but the previous year value has not doubled, which means in 86-87 the percentage increase is going to be very high compared to the earlier year's percentage increase. Similarly, if you compare this one with 1.5, there is an increase of 50%. But in the base, do you find increase of 50%? Not at all. If you compare 85-86 with 89-90, there is an increase of 20%. But in the base, do you find 20% increase? 74 has increased to 80. That is just not even 10% increase. It has increased by 6. So that is not even 10%. Now, so what we understand very clearly is every year the base is increasing by a very small percentage, but the increase, this increase value, this is increasing by very high percentage, which means Our answer is going to be 1985-86. Okay, no need to do any calculation. 85-86, that will be the answer, because again I'm repeating, the numerator is lowest compared to the denominator. Although here denominator is higher, denominator is increasing at a lesser speed compared to the numerator. The numerator in growth is very high compared to the growth in the denominator. That is why 85-86 is going to be your answer. Now, in case you are not clear just by the verbal explanation I gave, I will just write it here also. Our values are 1 by 74, 2 by 77, 1.5 by 77, 1.5 by 78.5, 1.2 by 80. These are our values and we have to compare. See, in the numerator, all the values are growing at very high rate. This is increase of 100%, this is increase of 50%, 50%, 1 compared to 1.2 increase of 20%. But in the denominator, the increase is very less, very less. There is no 20%, 50% increase in the denominator. Highest maximum is 74 to 80, that is not even 10%. That is why I am saying the answer will be this particular fraction, this particular year, 1 by 74. If the question would have been where the rate of increase in population was highest, then we could have picked up any value from here, but it is lowest. So the numerator is lowest compared to the denominator here in this particular fraction. That is why this is the answer. Let's move ahead. Increase in the per capita income compared to the previous year among the years given below was highest for which year? So let me just again bring that particular data here. Now the question is, increase in per capita income was highest for which year? Now earlier also we found out that the increase in per capita income is highest in this particular year, 1988-89. The increase is highest, okay, compared to the increase in the base. The base is not increasing by that much. Here increase 60 is very high, but the problem is there is no option of 88-89. The options are different. So the question is, among the years given below, it is not an absolute question that we have to think that the question is wrong because this option is missing. The question is asking, among these 4 years, in which year the increase in per capita income is highest. So let us take, we have 85-86. I'll just write the values for your sake. 85-86, it will be 31 by 230. See, actually there is no need to write all this, but in case if you may not be clear, I am just writing it. Then we have 87-88, we have 38 divided by 292, 89-90, we have 43 divided by 390. We have to compare the fractions in which year the increase has been the highest among these years. Okay, Acha. Now let us compare first these 2 years, these 2 fractions. Because here the denominator is higher and numerator is same, this fraction will be less than this. This will be less. So I am immediately cancelling. Now let's compare these two. Now here, what is the increase in the numerator? Numerator is increasing by 7. Okay, there is an increase of 7 here. And how much is the increase here? 62. Now let's calculate quickly. 7 out of 31. 7 4s is 28. That means this increase is less than 25%. If it was 28, we could have taken 25%. It is more than 28. It is less than 25%. What about the denominator? 62. And what is 23 into 3? 69. So this is almost 30% increase in the denominator. We know that if numerator increase percentage is less than denominator increase percent, then the fraction will be lower. So this is also out. What about this one? Here the numerator is increasing by 160, which, and that percentage increase is very high compared to the numerator, that is obviously understood by you. This is increasing by 12, okay, and so this will be almost a 30% increase. But what about the denominator, which is increasing by 160? That is very high compared to 230. So this option is also out, which means among these options, which year it is highest? 85, 86, that is the highest. So just see here, simply by comparing fractions, simply by comparing the values, we have calculated all the questions, and we have not done any multiplication, any division, any percentage calculation, nothing except some subtractions in the table. I hope this solution was clear. If not, you can just give a comment and I will try to resolve it again. I'll try to do it again with more of writing stuff, but actually that is not not required to do so much of writing. So friends, this was the first set, and the second set I will continue in the part 2 of this video. Every set there will be one part, otherwise the video becomes extremely long and there are problems in uploading. So you can go to the part 2 in the particular playlist and you will get the next set questions there. Okay. So I hope you like this particular video. If you liked it, please click on the like button and give your support to us. You can also subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon notification there so that you get the updates of all our upcoming videos. And please don't forget to share it with your friends and give your feedback in the comment section. Our Facebook group and Facebook page links are provided in the description below. So we'll meet you in the second part of this video. Thank you.